Chaos Prophecy, we're still here. We're coming, guys. We're coming. We're finding the craft. You understand?
We're coming and we're overtaking this whole
shit, bro. Let me tell you.
Listen. So here at Chaos Prophecy, we like to talk about topics that question people's ways of thinking.
So you know we're about to talk about the most controversial question.
Talking about gender.
How many genders are there?
How many genders are there? How many genders are there? Are there multiple genders?
There's two genders, but I feel like people can claim either or, even if you are that said gender born.
So you say that there are only two genders.
There are only two genders.
What are those two genders?
There's male and female.
Okay.
But again, like I said, it doesn't matter if they're a male or female. They can be either or.
Okay.
Claim
and
to
so,
be.
all right. So.
Or take the title.
So
as.
like,
do you think there are multiple genders?
Yeah, but like, let me first of all,
Okay.
I will
He
say
says
that like,
yes.
I want to say, man, it's not male and female. It's man and woman. Because male and female isn't a gender. That's a sex. That's like a whole nother. You can't like a sex and a gender are not the same thing. Your sex isn't male. I mean, no, your sex is male. Your gender is man, or your gender is woman. But sex is not gender. They're separated. Like I don't. It's like the confusion is kind of like it makes the whole point. Not
So
make
you're
sense.
saying yes. So gender and sex are two different concepts.
Absolutely.
So, and without understanding the concept of gender allows for there to be multiple genders.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yes.
And you're saying that. So why do you think there's only two genders?
Why do I think there's only two?
First of all, hold on. So, what is the definition of gender? The Google definition, Armand says is incorrect. Is what Armand would say. The first Google definition, when you look up gender and nothing else.
I like the second one.
The first thing it says is the first sentence it says is either of the two sexes, male or female, especially when considered with reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones. Is the first thing it says.
Yeah.
And the problem with this definition is that in the definition of gender, the first thing it mentions is biological sex, which isn't gender.
It just isn't.
That's
It's not
not
even
the-
a part of it.
That's not part of the definition of gender. Is what sex is.
Sex.
Are you catching that?
Yeah.
I know a lot of y'all out there think gender is a synonym for sex.
This is not.
But like
it's
that
not
is conceptually wrong, and you've been wrong your whole life.
true.
To be honest, no offense.
Be honest.
I'm just telling you, like,
But that's the whole reason. That's
But
the whole
that's the
reason people
problem.
say that. Like, that's the whole argument.
gender is a particularly different concept than sex. All right. So I guess to start that
But,
off.
like, but look, if you read the second definition, it's
The
just
second
better.
definition on Google, apparently, he thinks is better. It says, each of the classes, typically masculine, feminine, common, neuter, interesting word, of nouns and pronouns distinguished by the different inflections that they have and requiring words synectically associated with them.
This is the grammatical definition.
Grammatical gender is only very loosely associated with natural distinctions of sex. Yes, that is one true thing.
Like,
that's a more
but like grammatical gender is what gender is socially, the way we use it in the world.
grammatical gender is gender.
It's like it's a much better definition. Well, like it's because words have genders.
Yeah, Mehdi, can do you think, as you said, you think there are only two genders, right?
I think
Do you
there's only
think-
two.
Do you think there are more than two genders? No.
I don't think there's more than two genders, but I'm saying, I feel like there's people who can be either or. Like they actually choose and, like you can say, impersonate or dress as
Well,
that
like
certain type of person.
yeah. So you think, well, at least you think, but you think anybody could be any gender is the idea, right?
I feel like but there are only two genders, but you can be any gender.
You could be any of the two.
Yeah.
I did the two.
Yeah, like
not
especially in nowadays society.
That's just how we feel. He's just like, it doesn't make sense like to have more than two. But
And you say
because
there are
there's male
multiple
and
genders.
yeah.
He says multiple.
Only be
genders.
like-
I also think there are multiple.
But
genders.
at the same
I do
time,
think there's
but
multiple.
here's where I'm on Mekti's side with, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, because technically, all like the extra genders and stuff just kind of takes away from what it means to be a man or a woman. If you add more than two genders, it kind of takes away from like the definition of a man or a woman. Like what does it mean to be a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it mean to be a man? Like to be a man, do you have to act like this and take these roles on and do these gender roles? Like, is
What
that
you're
what that
saying?
means?
Men have always had the higher role in everything.
No.
Yeah, we have. We've always had
No.
the provider
No.
for the females.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Who the fuck went and hunted food and
But
came
that doesn't
back?
They
matter.
don't always hunt.
Well,
But,
that
like,
what do
women-
you
a lot
mean
of
that
women-
doesn't matter? That's
Like,
how you
no,
survive.
well, like, a lot of times they did like people were doing gardening and you know,
And that's what
putting
really
plants.
sustained most
And that's
people.
most of the sustained
because
we
like
can feel
Females
like that.
garden?
because
Yes, that's what
hunting
they
has
did
like
most of the
doesn't
time.
necessarily have a high success rate.
Yeah, like it's very hard to hunt. You lose people die, and like you don't even get the food at the end of the day. Like it's really not. It wasn't that good. But like when you did get somebody to hunt some food, like meat
If
was
y'all were
really
good at it, I
powerful
mean,
and
you
good.
could get some rabbits,
What do you mean?
maybe
you got a
y'all have a
gun.
rabbit forest.
But now,
no,
but like-
No, I'm
And
talking
it's-
about in the 19, like, fucking like.
Yeah, but like a woman
1780s,
can use
bro.
a gun.
19.
If
Yeah,
we're
that
talking a gun,
equalizes
like a
them.
woman can use a gun
that equalizes.
just as good as a man.
Okay, so woman's gonna go use a gun while her fucking kid's still in the house. No,
No,
the
'cause
man
the man-
went
no,
and
'cause
did
the
it.
man's
Hold
in the
on now,
house.
we're off track now. But with that,
But
No,
like, what
I'm
about
saying-
no? But what about
Okay.
what about households with no men?
That nowadays,
What about households
bro,
with no men? What do women do? They do what the men had to do. They had to provide. They have to do it all.
what do? They
They do it
scrounged.
all. But they
They
survived.
had it hard.
They did, but they had to do it anyway. They
Yeah.
did it.
But they,
But
yeah,
my whole
of
life-
course you
but-
could
but-
raise a
but no,
kid.
all I'm not
but
just
what's
raise a
the
kid.
correct way to
No,
raise
not
him?
just raise the kid. You raised the kid. You took care of, but like, and you pick up those things. Not as and like if you did, you did a good job. A lot of women, some women have done a good job. You know what I'm saying, by themselves doing this shit.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because they can take on those roles while still being a woman. It doesn't make you not a woman, even though you're taking up the roles of a man. Like that doesn't make sense. Like the roles.
I
that we
don't think a
typically
woman
say.
can take a role as a man. The role of the man. That just doesn't make sense.
Is a firefighter a man? A role of a man? You think I think so?
A
Or we get
firefighter?
a role as a man? Is a hunting a role of a man? Let's talk. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Can a woman hunt?
Yeah.
Okay, then a woman can take the role of a man. What are we talking about?
But what's the most dominated? What is it? What do you
Because
think
not-
every
no, I'm
female's
just,
out there?
No. All I'm saying is that a woman can do can take
Yes.
this place of a man
You're
without
speaking
being
on a small percentage.
But no. Without being a man is my point.
Yeah, small
Yes,
percentage.
no. So all I'm saying is, listen, you
Most
kinda, you know,
females need
Mekti,
men, bro.
you agree with me more than you think you do. Just calm down.
No, it's
No, like you're in
that.
debate bro mode. Listen, I'm trying to like you don't even get where I'm going with this. A woman could do the things that a man could do while still being a woman, right? Can take those places, do those gender roles while still maintaining the fact that she's a woman. So if we say that like
What kind of woman? A hardened woman or a soft woman?
But no, like the
She
idea
wouldn't
is,
be a hardened
no,
woman
I
if
know
she
what
didn't
you're
raise you
saying.
like that.
Calm down. You don't see. We're talking about gender right now. Calm down. I'm going to transgender people. That's where I'm going with this. You're fighting on the man and female women thing. I'm saying that I like to an extent, though the fact that he could say that there's only two genders, you could say that because all these in between genders that aren't necessarily men or women, and they say that, but like being a man or a woman doesn't actually have the meaning that they think it does. Because you could do all the things that it means to be, whatever your gender is, and still maintain the fact that you're a woman. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to go outside to go outside of the binary, because like the binary isn't actually binary, because like women can be different. All women, you don't have to be the same. Like there isn't a set boundary for what it means to be a man or a woman, because you can take these roles and act differently in life and wear different clothing and do all these things and still be
Yeah,
a
you
woman and
can.
still be a man.
Yeah, you can do all that. Nobody's saying you can't.
My
But
only
the
thing is
traditional, the original way.
Mekti, I'm saying no, I'm saying that these people who are transitioning, they kind of make it weaker. It makes the definition of a woman weaker. It means that because like to be a woman, you can do all the things that I'm saying you can do and still be a woman. But if we believe that if we believe that we have infinite genders and stuff like that, then at some point you're taking away from the definition of what it means to be a woman.
You're taking away.
You know, like because like you're saying
fucking human
or a man, no, like
what
not
sex
a human,
you
but
are.
like what to be a man or a woman. Well, sex and gender.
What's next gonna come? Babies are gonna be born, and next what do you call something that's like blank?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Sexual-
A lot of people do
in a sexual
genderless babies. Like they let the baby choose whenever.
Yeah.
People are doing that
that's
now.
real.
It's been happening.
That's how it is. Yeah, like it's
It's been happening.
that's
I know.
what it
My
is.
sister actually knows somebody in school.
You
like
can
that.
just pop out and be a whole new type of thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's the reality.
But that's just reality, and
That's the truth.
That's
At
the
the end of the
reality
day,
of it.
because like it's not a sex. Because at the end of the day, you are gonna be whatever sex you are.
I guess you can say.
Like, I mean, like, even if you transition, you're not changing your sex. Like, you're only changing your gender, because gender is different. But I think that when we add, the more genders we add, we kind of take away from what it means to be any of the other genders or something like that.
Which is reality, true though, because I mean, each of the genders we have are like all malleable
all encompassing
too.
though.
They're all malleable
Like,
too.
if we only have 2 of them though, then like they're all encompassing.
But like everyone thinks those are different. Sees those wildly different.
Yeah.
So
But then it's all encompassing.
basically
Because like if there's only 2, then it encompasses all of human interaction. But
Mhm.
then like people would assume that like it doesn't encompass all of human interaction, but like it technically does. Is kind of the idea. Unless we add a new classification to encompass more, like to annotate that it's not actually covering the rest of it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Technically. Cause it's like the words literally mean all the like used to mean all of gender spectrum is only man and woman, but now like we've added extra genders, which actually there's only I believe that there's only one spectrum of gender, and like the more genders we add to it, the less each classification can be in size. You know what I'm saying? If there's one gender,
You're saying it's harder to track back to its original.
No, like,
if
so,
there's
like-
multiple.
No. So like, if there's one spectrum of gender, right, that exists, right, and then like you could say that you could be on this side or like throughout wherever, right. Back in the day, it was 50-50, and like at the middle, it was like man, woman, right, and like that encompassed all of the gender, the entire 50-50 of the 100% of the gender spectrum, right. And now that we've added non-binary, right, that made the middle that 50 in the people in the 49 and 48. No, 49 and 51, right, in the middle, are now like a whole new thing. You know what I'm saying? And like that takes away from now each of them only take up 49% each, and now you got that 2 extra percenter who are now non-binary. And then you add another one, then you have then it takes away that percentage. So like the more genders we add, the less it means to be a man or a woman. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like that's what I was trying to get at. Like because back in the day, you would say that like to be a man or to be a woman, it doesn't necessarily mean any of these things that we like now classify being these other genders mean. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like that kind of takes away from the definition of a man or woman, because a man or a woman can't be what that gender is because that gender now exists.
Yeah.